What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about Guild Wars 2, which is an MMORPG that is coming out in August. Actually, it's exactly a month from now. Today's July 28th, and the game is coming out on August 28th. So, anyways, I've been checking out this game for probably the past 2-3 days, and I am so excited for this game. And I don't know if a lot of you guys know, I was a complete World of Warcraft addict a few years ago, and I don't play it anymore. Honestly, probably the main reason I don't play it is because I have a YouTube channel, and if I played that, I wouldn't have time to play to play other games. And it was kind of an unhealthy relationship with a video game, if that's such a thing. And for some of you guys that play it or have played it, you know how addictive it is. But anyways, I think I might have a new addiction with Guild Wars 2, because the way it's shaping up is fantastic. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it today. And even if you're not interested in the kind of magic-y, blah, 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 oh, it's like World of Warcraft. Wow, you nerd. Don't be discouraged or, ashamed of playing certain kinds of games. Anybody that makes fun of you for playing a certain kind of game is most likely a hypocrite, because they play a similar type of game. They just don't know. And, it's like people that make fun of people that play World of Warcraft that play Fable. It's kind of like, seriously, it's, there's similar worlds, and there's magic and dragons and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I don't know if there are dragons in Fable, but anyways, I want to tell you guys a lot about Guild Wars 2 today, because I'm excited and I want to share my excitement with you guys, and I want to know what you guys think so far about it. But anyways, there are, instead of classes, now a lot of my references are going to be to World of Warcraft, because once again, I played that a shitload for like 3 years, and 3 years of my life. So instead of classes, there are professions. And in an RPG, in any kind of RPG, you pick a class. And that's basically how your character plays, how they're going to fight in combat, basically, is what a class is. And they're called professions in this game, which I like that a lot more. It's like, well, your character's not born as this certain type of class. They're more like, they take up this kind of fighting style. It's more of a profession. I like that. Anyways, so first off with the classes, we have the mesmer, and I did a little bit of research because I couldn't exactly grasp, what I could compare the mesmer to. And I think I found it. If you guys remember, in Dragon Age 2, you could be a mage, and you could be, I think it's called an entropy mage, and basically it's all focused on illusions and distracting your enemy, and, trying to fuck them up before you attack them. And, anyways, they're kind of a magey type of thing. They rely on deception and confusion, so it's like taking down your enemy's defenses and blah, 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 stuff like that. But I believe they're more of a ranged kind of class. They look kind of squishy, or profession, rather. But, anyways, there's the mesmer. I don't even think I'll be using mesmer. Next class is the engineer, which I saw some gameplay of the engineer. Unfortunately, I would show you guys some gameplay, but I don't have any. I mean, I wasn't in the beta, and I just kind of got interested in this game a few days ago, like I said. And I'm so glad it's coming out in just a month. But yes, the engineer. Best way I can describe this is like a gnome engineer from WoW, basically. They make explosives, gadgets, elixirs. They can throw down turrets to fight for them, which is like, you've never heard of that in an MMO. When have you ever heard that someone throws down a turret? I mean, it kind of reminds me of a totem, or a, what else could people throw down in WoW? Anyways, like a shaman throwing down totems. That's kind of it's kind of that kind of system, but I don't know, a turret sounds way more cool, because it's, it's guns and shooting. There are guns in this game too. I know there were guns in other MMOs, but I don't know, they feel different, and they feel a little more practical in this game. Anyways, they can put down mines, bombs, grenades, all this cool stuff. And I want to also point out, this game kind of has a steampunky feel as well, which I like. Anyways, that's the engineer. Next off, we have the thief, which obviously could best be, compared to the rogue. And basically, they're a master of stealth and surprise, and they're probably they probably deal a lot of massive, what's it called, burst damage, you know, like backstab, blah blah blah, all that stuff. They're kind of squishy, I would think. They move through the shadows, vanish into thin air, steal items from their opponents, use them as weapons. You can kind of expect, it's pretty self-explanatory what a thief is probably going to be like. I don't know what I'm going to play first, but let's get through these. Next is the Guardian, which is a devoted fighter that calls upon the virtues to smite their enemies and protect their allies. And they're also pretty good with any kind of weapon. I'll get to weapons in a second because the weapon system is awesome. Just fucking amazing. So the Guardian is pretty much a sword and board type profession, which would kind of be like a prot warrior in WoW if you played WoW. Protection warrior. So next we have the necromancer, which is a practitioner of the dark arts who summons the dead, wields the power of lost souls, and literally sucks the lifeblood out of the enemy. So this obviously could be the most closely resembles a warlock, basically. A necromancer does. And there you go. They're spell casting bros. I'm pretty sure they're pretty squishy, so don't want to get it in too close. I think the only non-squishy class, actually, classes, would probably be the Guardian and the Warrior, but that's just what I've seen so far. Anyways, next is the Ranger, which they call it the Jack-of-all-trades, master of, stuff. Master of them all, of all kind of weapons, I guess. Relying on the keen eye, steady hand, and power of nature itself. A master of ranged combat, the Ranger is capable of striking unwitting foes from a distance with his bow. Also, they have pets, so this is basically a hunter. But I don't know if it's the best thing for me to generalize and be like, oh, it's just like this in the other game. Anyways, next we have the Warrior, master of weapons, speed, strength, toughness, heavy armor. They can shrug off blow after blow without dying. They use adrenaline instead of rage, like you would expect, or fury, or whatever you want to call it. But Warrior, I guess key thing to note, they use any type of weapon. It doesn't matter, which is really cool. And once again, I'm going to explain that weapon system right after this. Last class out of 8 is the elementalist, which is the mage. You know, this is just a mage that can basically use fire, air, earth, and water to do massive damage. Mages have always been powerful in MMOs, so you can expect that to be the case, I would think. But anyways, so that's all 8. We have Elementalist, Warrior, Ranger, Necromancer, Guardian, Thief, Engineer, Mesmer. I think they covered about every single facet that anybody would want out of a class in an MMO. Seriously, I don't really think there's any room for any other type of class. I mean, you got like your Ranger, nature people, and your Warrior, tough people, and your sneaky thief people, and your ranged magic people. So pretty good on that. I like the variety. But anyways, let me explain the weapon system to you guys. So basically, you have your hotbar, your action bar at the bottom where all of your skills are that you get to use and attack people with. But every time you equip a new weapon, that the action bar changes. You get a different set of abilities. So say you were to have a two-handed sword, you would have some really slow kind of sweeping attacks. You'd have like a spinny attack. You'd have a variety of things that would suit more of a two-handed weapon. But once you switch to dual wielding two one-handed axes, it's totally different. You have fast kind of movements, and this is with the same class. So say, instead of the two one-handed axes or the two-handed sword, you had a staff. You'd have, staff attacks, and they're all different. It doesn't matter what you're using. You can even equip a pistol with a warrior instead of the things that I just mentioned, and they'd have their own pistol attacks, or a rifle. It's really cool, like really, really cool, in my opinion, that's the way it works, and it makes it much more varied. If you're tired of using your two-handed sword, fuck it, go put on a staff, or go put on two one-handed swords or something. Anyways, something that's very massively different from World of Warcraft that I'm used to is the factions. You know, he had Alliance and Horde. They were always enemies. If you played on a PvP server, you'd kill each other all the time. There'd always be this tension. There's really not that kind of tension in this game. There's actually only 5 races, which I don't have a problem with, really. They could probably add some more in the future, but they have these 5, and they're called the Sylvari, which are closely resembled to any kind of elf that you could think of, but they're like made out of trees and leaves and stuff. Pretty cool. I mean, I guess you could make a female Sylvari. I don't know about a male Sylvari. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Next is the Norn, which are kind of like, if you played a lot of Skyrim, you know what the Norn, well, you don't know what the Norn are, but they kind of remind me of the Nord. They kind of look like Vikings almost, and you know, I don't know a ton about these. I'm just going to name them off for you guys. Next are the charr, which look like these big beast kind of combination of like a bull and when they walk on 2 feet, and they're kind of like bull tiger cat things. They're interesting, but they kind of remind me of a tauren. Next is the asura, which are tiny little smart creature guys that are supposed to be like the brains of the races, and they do magic and stuff, and they're tiny, and they're kind of ugly. They kind of look like gnomes, obviously. Then finally you have the humans, which, you know, like freaking every MMO has a human. Not saying it's a bad thing, but anyways, those are the 5 races, and you can be any class with any of these races. No class, or you can be any profession with any of these races, so there's no restrictions on that. That's fantastic. Another thing is, questing is so much different in this game. They actually have something called dynamic events. So you'll talk to one person in an area, and they'll kind of inform you about people that need help in the area, and then those people will pop up on your map, and you can go over to those people, and you just enter the zone, and you automatically accept the quest. Just automatically. You don't have to go up to someone, right-click on a quest, or right-click on them, and then click accept to go do the quest. You just go do it, and that's just, it's so innovative for an MMO. I mean, pretty much every MMO I can think of that I've played, you have to go to someone, accept a quest, and then go do it. You know, like Star Wars, The Old Republic, WoW, those are the 2 main ones that I've played. But that's how it works, and you just go into a certain area. You know exactly what you need to do, because what you need to do is in that area. There's no more wandering around, not knowing what you're supposed to do, which freaking happens a lot in a lot of MMOs, and it feels more natural, you know? It's like, this is actually how it should happen. I shouldn't have to go to somebody and accept and be like, hey, I'm going to do this for you. You just be like, I need help with this. Okay, I'll do it. And you're just right there, and you'll be able to help them with it. So that's really cool. And also, the group system, like if someone is doing the same event as you, they're in the same kind of circular area, then you don't have to worry about competing with them for XP. You don't have to worry about them tagging an enemy before you and them getting the XP or the loot for dropping items. Also, the loot system is easier. You just click F, which if you walk with WASD, then you just move your freaking pointer finger to the right and click F to loot. You don't have to right click and then click everything that you want to loot off the person. You just loot everything. So easy. I'm pretty sure some MMOs already have that function, but still, it's kind of nice. But anyways, those dynamic events, there's, you know, questing is so much different, and apparently there are 70 levels. I'm not 100% on that, but let's see what else. Oh, combat, yeah. You can dodge, which is kind of an interesting system. Like your character doesn't feel like an MMO character; it feels more like an action RPG character. That you can move around, you can dodge left, right, you can roll out of the way of attacks. It's you know, it doesn't feel as much like you're restricted, since you're playing a certain kind of game like you normally would. And also, when you pick your character, you are asked these certain kind of questions that are supposed to shape kind of the personality and attitude of your character. Also, your character is not silent. Your character speaks. And also, when you go to talk to people for your main kind of story quest, obviously with every game there's going to be a main story, and sometimes there's going to be side quests. Obviously, with an MMO, there's going to be a main story and a ton of side quests. But in the main story, you talk to people and they have these little cutscenes, and the voice syncing looks great so far. It doesn't look cheesy. It looks, new and nice. Basically, it looks polished. So, yeah. And also, like I said, when you start your character, you're asked all these questions that kind of shape the way your character is going to respond and act to the world. So that's really, really cool. And let's see, what else can I find here? Blah, blah, blah. Dungeons. So there are instances like there are in WoW and in Star Wars The Old Republic. And basically, you go through a little portal, and a lot of instances are story mode, and a lot of them you can just explore. So I'm not sure exactly how this is supposed to work so far, but also you can fail quests. That's another thing. You can fail quests, and you won't be able to redo them. So you really want to, pay attention to what you're doing. I'm pretty sure that's the truth. I could be wrong. Also, there's PvP. A really cool thing about PvP that they've done is there's no, what's the best word for this? There's no kind of categories for PvP anymore based on your level. With PvP in Guild Wars 2, you're automatically leveled up to level 70 or whatever the level cap is, because I'm not exactly 100% sure on that. So you're automatically that highest level, but you still have the same gear, but it's scaled up, if that makes sense. So say you're like a level 3, you have shitty gear, but you want to go play some PvP. You're level 70, but you still have your shitty gear, but it's scaled up to where you're not going to get massacred as a level 70. If you're level 70 legit in the game, because you got there through questing and the whole thing and the blah, 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 then your gear is going to be far superior than the level 3 who came into PvP and got scaled up, if that makes sense. So that's really cool. All that matters is skill and strategy. You don't need to worry about being the max level or, any of that stuff. So let's see, what else can I tell you guys? There's also, I don't know what they're called, crafting things, just like in every other MMO, there's some crafting. And it looks pretty cool so far. I don't have a ton of information on it, but anyways, also the art style of this game is impeccable. I'm really, really, impressed by the way it looks, and it's kind of got this watercolor brush kind of feel to it. And you'll see from this fantastic concept art that I've been throwing up. They're actually wallpapers. These are really, really nice, really pretty, and I like them. And yeah, so anyways, guys, let me know if you guys are looking forward to this game. I talked for 18 minutes, goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to this game. I'm very excited, and it comes out the day after school starts, which sucks. But still, I'm going to play it. Screw it. But yeah, so anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're going to get this game, if you're looking forward to it, if you're going to look more into it. There are plenty of videos on YouTube of people actually playing the beta. Unfortunately, like I said, I missed it. Beta is closed, and they're probably going gold pretty soon, if not already, and shipping soon. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you later. Peace.